south of Italy, there is the influence of Arabic and Greek. So that's why it changes from one region to another. But still, we call Italian food, and we got a lot of common dishes from the south to the north, but with the variety. Okay, so we got here some water. We need to have it easy boiling, so we need to be up to the maximum. What is the maximum of this?
You want it to be boiling, right?
Yes, boiling.
Yeah.
Big numbers. I like big numbers. So what we needed to do is because we're going to be cooking, the first dish is arancina. Arancina, and the second one is a fish carpaccio and arancina. Arancina can be filled with anything. Why it's called arancina? It comes from the word orange, arancio. Arancio in Italian, arancina. So when the Arab came to Sicily, they said that we want to eat food rice with our hands. And we didn't have no rice, we never heard anybody eating with their hands. It's like Indian, they eat with hands, but Arabic is the same thing. So we had to create, they said the only thing we can do is an orange that you can eat with your hand. So we made like an arancina, but there is this shape and more or less this color. What it does, this color, to the arancina is saffron. So one of the main ingredients on this is saffron. So this is water. This is the it's full of water. Yeah, that's right. So we need we take some of this water here much. Otherwise, we will take it forever to boil. That's when we call mise en place. Why do we call mise en place? Because we need to have everything available. I'm going to be in difficulty, but I don't care. Because my job is I'm a professional, so I would like to do anything that happens. So what we need to do is boil the water with some salt, which we have here. 1 and 2. Yep, that's salt. And the saffron. Have we got the saffron? No.
Check you want some saffron.
Yes. Yeah, it's here. So with arancina is a stuffed rice ball fried, and you can stuff with anything you like. Today we got some peas, we got some cheese, we got 2 different cheese, and we got some butter, and yeah, you can. We're going to do with this. We can make it spicy. We can make less spicy, but the arancina is the outside, the crust that we going to fry. This is crust outside. The breadcrumbs is here,
Yes.
which we're going to put the flour there. That's right. If we got everything that we need. The water is boiling. Okay, nice sharp knife. Yeah. The other day when I started, I done yesterday a masterclass, I think. And I went to the kitchen. There was I took 3 knives. They were all blunt. So to cut it was very difficult. But never mind. You have to make do with what you find and what you got. Okay, we got the more or less about 3/4 of a liter of water. I put the same amount, half kilo of rice here. This 1 kilo. You say, how do you know it's half kilo? We weigh this half kilo because one packet is 1 kilo. This my hands. So that's what we do. Okay, we have a nice fish fish here.
Yes, there is sea bass.
Sea bass, a lot of sea bass.
Yes.
Nice and fresh. Yes. That's the thing you have to make sure that the fish is fresh when you do the carpaccio. And also, if you are not sure, you have to put under temperature to kill any bacteria that the fish has got. So freeze it to maximum so it kills the bacteria because it's the heat and the freeze that will kill the bacteria. But when you eat the raw food, which we're gonna cook in a way, and I'll tell you the way we're gonna be cooking it with lemon and vinegar. We put the salt, we put the rice there. It will take time that will absorb the water. And
Check the saffron is covered.
yeah, no problem. We can do it afterwards. It's cooking. It takes about 20 minutes to cook. Then we need to cool down. So we'll be doing a lot of talking before something happens. Yeah. And fish is one of my specialty. I love fish. I love to cook with fish. I love to eat fish. But actually, when I was young, I didn't like fish because it's not every fish that I like. There is some fish that I dislike. And I must have had a fish that I disliked when I was very young. And I said, no, I don't like fish. I put everything in one category. But no, it's completely different. They are different animals and different taste and different texture. Yeah. So, it's one of my favorite ingredient. This gives color, gives flavor. It's a very hard to because we're going to be making more than one arancini. We're going to be trying. What I'm going to be needing is oil stairs. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. This now we will cook and fish, when it's fresh, you have to try to keep at its best. If you put too much in it, you complicate it. Well, that we're talking about Italian cuisine, of course, because Indian cuisine is the opposite. You try to put more flavors because you want to burst of the flavor. When we try to keep the main ingredient, the flavor. So we try to minimize everything, what we're going to add into it. The fish is going to be just with lemon, some vinegar, salt, pepper, and some chives, because the chive, some dill. Dill is good with the, the fish, or even parsley is good for the fish. Don't put thyme or rosemary. It's too strong for the fish. It will ruin the because it's delicate. It will ruin the delicacy of the fish. So for me, yes, thyme and rosemary for fish, parsley, and dill. Here is boiling. I like to say boiling. So, the yellow is coming out. I love it. And when I started, well, I didn't know what I was going to do if I was going to be a chef. I knew that I want to create some food with my hands. And I was in charge of the family to go and buy the bread every day because we eat fresh bread every day, like you do the fresh bread every day. So I was going every day to the baker to get the bread, and I like the smell of bread. I like to see inside the operation room that they were making all these shapes and this different kind of bread, and I wanted to do it. So eventually, I told the baker, I said, can I try to make something? Eventually, he did. But because I was so small, I couldn't reach the preparation table. So I had to put a crate upside down to reach the table. And me touch the bread, it was such a pleasure. There was no other toy better than the dough that I was making shapes and taking it off, put it back. It was brilliant. And then cooking it and eating the bread that I made. I said, what do I want? So from there, I said, oh, what can I do? I needed to develop it. So I needed to study. I needed to do something else. So I went to do patisserie, studied it. Then I went to gastronomy. So my knowledge became wider and wider. And while I was studying, I was also working. So because the technical part is good, but you need to work also under pressure because you will be in situation that you will be under pressure. This is a job that you have to love it and you'll be put on a test. And a lot of people they crack, but if you've got a solid base, you don't. You just carry on, put your heads down, and do it again, and start again. That's the attitude that you have to have to succeed in this job, this business. Is you got in your heart, and you got you got the knowledge, and you know the techniques. You done. So make sure that you study. You ask any questions to the teachers because they will answer. They will tell you everything that they've got. They here to transfer to you. So whatever they got, they give it to you. And if you ask a question and they don't know, they can contact anybody in the world. They get the answer. So feel free to ask questions to your teachers because no question is a stupid question. Sometimes we feel, I should know that. How can I ask this question? It's stupid. No, it's not stupid. I don't know. So I ask. Then I know. Then it would be stupid if I ask again. Or it would be stupid if I don't ask. I wouldn't know. But if I know, then I can answer. And we needed to have an answer. We needed to be in situation like me. Now, I didn't know. I just walked in and I'm going to make the two dishes. It takes time. You have to be patient. Don't rush because otherwise you ruin it. Take your time. This takes 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We wait. Then after cool down, we wait to cool down. This is a process because the rice has to release the starch because then I can handle it with my hand. I can do whatever I want with the rice. So, what? Any questions you want to ask me? Anything that you thought that you was going to ask me as soon as you see me? Nobody has got anything? Any questions? No? About Italian food, about me, about you, some thing that worries you or whatever you're doing, if you're going to get there, how to reach there, why am I doing this? Do I really want to do this? What makes me ask any questions that you want to ask? You can ask. I've got a lot of years of experience. I've done working on the cruise liner. I've been working in Walt Disney that we used to do 3,500 people a day, customer a day. So it's under pressure. I worked in top hotels, Hilton Park Lane, and I worked in restaurants. I've had, let's say, around 50 restaurants. So I've been there. I've done a lot. I've been going down, come back up, failing, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have to be strong. You have to be there to stand up and do it again. You will have difficulties. Everybody will have difficulties in life. But what we have to do is just put this on the side, the problems and the difficulties, and start again. Start afresh and stronger. Because you can. Everybody is in the same situation. So now, any question? No, nobody wants to ask me. You got a question for me. Yes, you do. Yes. Say something about anything, even about the weather, about my country, about somewhere else, anything that you think of. You do, and then you think about your question.
So, Chef, now as you told us that there are many difficulties which you face, like in your career.
Yes.
So, was there any point where you thought like this thing is like too much headache or like too much of pressure?
Yes.
Something like that you experienced.
Yes. Yes. You do because you are put in situation many times. I'll tell you one story that is the first one I can remember. I was in charge in a hotel, the Corinthia Palace Hotel, which is a big chain, and my staff start to complain. I said, all of you get out. So I sacked all of them, and when I sacked all of them, I said, "What I did. How am I going to do now? I've got 150 customers to serve, and how am I going to do?" So I did get one of somebody from the dining room to help me, even some customers to help me. I made an evening that the people they could help the kitchen to cook the food. I made that an event, and I made it until I got another lot of the stuff to replace. It's not that I panic because it was an hour of panic. I said, "What am I going to do?" An hour of panic. I said, "What am I going to do?" But you have to find a solution. You have to see a way forward. If you cry, you don't solve nothing. So you have to just fight and get back. I don't do anymore. I learned my lesson. First, I had another replacement of stuff, and then I sacked them. Yeah, that's was. But yes, there is many difficulties that you get in life, and this is still not worth to. Yeah, that's fine. No. So, did you find your question? Take it off the mask. Go ahead.
What difficulties did you face from the start till what you are at?
Okay. My first difficulties was to tell my family that I wanted to work. That was my first difficulty. I couldn't tell them. I was so young. I say I have to go to work. They say you go to bed. You don't go to work. So I was making up that I was going there just to look, just to be there, and I really started to work there, and that was my first. And slowly, I did tell them they were against because I was young, but then they let me do it because they saw that I had the passion. Another difficulty was when you study and work, sometimes it does clash. So what do you let down? The work or the study? Because the study has to be always continuous. And you can, when you stop studying, that's it, finish your career. You can replace next year, but if you lose this understanding because it's your group, you feel behind. You can start, you can do it again, but between the two, job and study, choose your study. And I was in the situation that I had to choose what to do, and I was panicking. What am I going to do? This I make money, with that I pay. So which one? One is costing me, one I make money. I was tempted to do the money side of it, but I was wise. I did ask in the school. They said no, leave the job because you can find another job. Actually, they will want you back as soon as you're ready. So it's we worked both way, and yeah, that was another difficulty. Other difficulties is when I decided to travel again. How can you tell your family that you want to travel? They think they lose you, but it's not like that. There is a lot of decisions that you have to make in life, and I went to work in Germany. I was speaking German. Uh, but I could speak English, some English, and but I could speak German. So I went to the Hilton there. I said, I've got 80 years of experience. I can work day and night. I said, I'm sorry, you cannot work in this kitchen. I said, but I know the job. I said, I'm a big learner. He said, first learn the basic English, German, and then you come back to us. I said, no, I'm not going to work anywhere else. I want to work with you. I said, just give me a position. He said, to just send me away. He said, I can give you a position of pusher up. I said, well, thank you. But on condition that if in 3 months' time I come back to you, we have a conversation in German, and I pass, you put me as my position. I said, yeah. In 3 months' time, other than day and night I was studying German. And in 3 months time, I was speaking German. I was so determined, so that I wanted to get my position in that place because it was the place to be, which then I become also very high up in the and I did. But that is basic. But I wouldn't say, no, I'm not doing boy chef. No, I'm a chef, I'm not going to do. Go back, give the time that we need to give, be quiet, and do whatever you have to do, and you get it. Yeah, but there's many. But that's only few that I can tell. There's many that you're going to face. But you're strong, you're determined, you know where you want to go, you got the goal, and you're going to reach it. Any other question? Yes.
What kept you motivating to be Mr. Culinary industry?
What it does motivate you in this? I can tell you what it motivated me, and I can tell you a lot of motivation that had the other people. My motivation was to succeed, because I knew that there was something that I wanted to do. I knew that there was something in me, and this helped me a lot. But I wanted to. Can you repeat the question again? Because I lost it.
What kept you motivating?
Yeah, what did motivate? Some was the most important thing that motivated me, that I had the chance to travel. I knew that doing this job I could travel. I could learn languages and I could travel, and that was my main motivation for this job. It wasn't the money. It wasn't anything. I had the chance to create, to be creative and travel, and that was what motivated me. Each one of you will have to find your motivation. You want to be the top chef in the hotel, and that could be your motivation, and you have to work towards that. You want to be a patisserie, the best patisserie in Goa, patisserie man in Goa, so you work towards it. Try to make us to be specialized on something, and when you are specialized on something, somebody wants you because you know the sector very, very well, and we have to motivate ourselves. A lot of people get motivated for money. I will put this secondary, because if you do your job well, you get paid. The more well you do your job, more you get paid. So I wouldn't be worried about to make more money today and not be professional, not be specialized on something, because sooner or later they will replace you with somebody that has got the better knowledge. So focus on one thing and go for it. Okay, we got the rice. So let's try if it's a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, try to put when you have the water stock. Yeah, a bit more. Because what it does, if you put the cold water, especially in rice, you stop the cooking process, and it falls outside. But because the heat is going from outside to inside, needs a bit more water. But you have water. And I'm gonna get the rice in here to cool it down. Yeah, because I'm gonna put in a flat surface, so it will cool down quicker. And yeah. Yeah, you see, for example, I was concentrating on the cooking time, and when you asked me the question, I said the question, and I lost. That's age as well. So it does it does happen. So make sure that when you got my age, you have done already everything, and you are already up there, and you can delegate others to do it. No, it's very nice, it's very good. I do teach all the time, and I talk to youngest because I really want you to succeed. Because you are the future of the hospitality kitchen. You are the future of transmitting and go on with the legacy of our generation has left behind. And so we give it to you what we got, so what you can carry on. And we fill the gap that there is at the moment in the world of the profession. You got so much opportunity at this unbelievable. You might think, what am I going to do? Yeah, I've got a degree, do I find a job? Yes, there's so much jobs around there for food, for chefs. There is so much. There's not enough chefs coming out of schools to be able to fill the need. Everybody's trying out the chefs all the time. And if you are good, you only can go one way up. Yeah, I think we go to the rice. Yeah. I bored you with all my things while I was waiting for the rice to be cooked. Yeah, it's interesting to know also everybody experience because so it makes you think, makes you realize that it's not everything process. There will be difficulties, a lot of difficulties coming out. Okay, so just again, open this anymore. So what we do is because it's still cooking, we need to handle it. The rice it keeps a very high heat, and we need to spread more as possible that it cools down easier than in England. In Africa, put a few minutes outside and it's frozen. When here it will get cooked, it will be getting hotter and hotter. Okay. See, making balls, the heat that goes in with the cold air goes in between. Okay, this we needed to take our time. We can put here. We don't want to use this anymore, I think. Okay. Have you got a little pot higher than this so we can fry this rice balls? Yeah. That's with oil. Very good. Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah. Yeah. Very well organized. I think I know now, maybe. No.
Just this one, menu.
That's the okay. So if it's a shallow frying, we use frying pan. But because it's a deep frying, we have to have fire. So while we wait for the rice to cool down, we do the fish. The fish is oh, I love my fish. The blue ball. I have to follow the rules. You know, it's very important to follow rules. Then make the rules to be followed up and everybody understands. Because you when you're gonna run your kitchen, you when you're gonna have your restaurant, there's gonna be inspectors that they're gonna come and check. If you don't do the process that you learn, they're gonna find you. They're gonna close you down. So you have to make sure that you do the right things, and you learn this year in the college. You're learning every day, but don't say, it's blue, green is the same thing. No, make sure that you proceed to the things that you do. Okay, we got the nice views that we need to clean out. Again, each fish has got different not one way to do it, but just to try not to let wastage, especially fish. Fish is so important that you don't waste anything. Because, in many countries, I don't know here how expensive it is, but fish in many countries is very expensive. So if you go very close to the bone, so you don't have much wastage.
Okay, no talk.
Nice lean fish. Make sure there is no bone because they are not present to the bone. And there's two fillets. I'm gonna come this way so you can see it better. And what we need to do is serve very thin slices of fish because we need to marinate it and we're going to be cooking without the heat. Basically, it's the acid of the lemon and the acid of the vinegar, you will cook. Try to press so you have you can touch the blade and you know how thin you want it. Pressing it, it's nice and see-through. White fish is the best fish ever, but you can do this, you can use any fish. Doesn't matter what fish you use, it's important that you use a fresh fish. No, you can leave because you see it's still there. The way I'm doing this, it goes all the way there, and the skin it stays attached. It comes out the skin. You need a very thin. If it was the fish frozen, it would have been even easier because it shreds this one because it's fresh fish. But I prefer that it shreds that is a whole. Always with touching the fish, pressing towards the blade, and comes out the skin. Because the skin, it won't cut the knife through the skin. It's very, very hard to cut it. So doing this, you clear it. Okay, so we got some food with water. Yeah. Very much. So I can wash my hands. It's a nice hot bowl of water. This again, you have to always make sure that you wash your hands because cross contamination is one thing that you have to be careful, especially in war where the weather is so hot. It's even so timing to keep the food out. Important that you. Okay, so have we got some rocket? Okay, I'll put some. Allora, quest'ala.
That's one of our local vegetables. We grow in the hills also.
Very nice. I like it. Open a bush. So, here there's the bowl. And then we got the more. So, you see, we have this very thin fish, and what we want to do is we need about 10-15 minutes that the acid goes through. And then, you see? Go to the lettuce here, then we're going to lay this on top, and we start marinating. Anyway, we start with some dill decoration here, which we need when we have the base here, okay, then we lay this fish on top of it. It's so nice. Simplicity is key in Italian cooking. Normally carpaccio is a starter. This is a bit more than a starter, and so what we need to do is put salt on it, start the marination. Then we need to put some pepper, which is salt. Yeah. Some pepper, and the key is lemon. You know why I'm putting the lemon here? Why do I put the lemon in my hand? Yeah, it's a simple way. There's different way to do, but that's the easiest way, because you don't want seeds on your food. It's very bad to have in your mouth. Spread all this lemon juice, and I will show you the color changes. At the moment it's pink, and then you will see that it will become whiter. It will become all nice and white. We need to set some olive oil here.
White.
No, we don't want white. Okay. Some olive oil, and we want to put some of this dill chopped. This will give a nice flavor. Some dill on top here. Get a nice some decoration. Garnish is good. we eat our food with our eyes before in our mouth. We need to see nice things. Simple. You don't have to do overdo it. It's just a simple thing. And good. The last thing I'm going to put is just a drop of vinegar. And if we see in a few minutes, we're going to see the changes on the color of this fish. But it's so simple, so easy, so tasty, so good that it's unbelievable that the fish, just a few simple ingredients and the taste that it's going to do. So let's wait that and then we're going to present the both of them. Okay, we have the rice should be a bit cooler. It's not cold for sure, but it will be cooler. And cold with water. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so the rice is here. You see how I can handle the rice? You will never be able to handle Indian rice like that. You will fall apart. And now you can do whatever you want to do because it's stuck there. This starch is making it stick together. There is nothing that, but the starch even hold the fry, it will burst it. So we have to seal it with something. And two of the sealer in the industry is eggs. It will give us crunchiness and flour. Flour and water is the two things that will. If you ever got the wet ends, doesn't stuck the rice there. If you got the dry ends, it will stick in your end. So I'm gonna put some fish. I'm gonna put some butter. Then I'm going to put some pepper, some salt inside. Then okay, so I started the other way around, but I should have cut but you can fold and pick up again. We'll cut our cheese, mozzarella, and the parmesan. Of course, we're going to do different size of arancina. Why there is a different size arancina? Because when it was bought, the arancina was made to look like an orange. And then with a lot of the parties and deception, they want to have the small one, they don't want to big lump of stuff. It was a meal, it started to be a meal, now it's a canapé. So we can do any size we want. Because we can, it's simple as that. We decide what to do with the food. But let's not forget the origin of the food. Because we have to respect all the origin and we can modify things, we can change things. If we know what it works with and what it doesn't. Little piece of cheese and that mozzarella with the same thing you need. Mozzarella is good because it melts and it will be stinging when you bite. So we got the two cheeses here, the butter, I pick up this again because you need to have in your hands. You cannot do otherwise. You have to have in your hands to be able to feel it. Like any food, you want to feel it. You want to feel that it's in your control. Okay, the butter it gives the softness, it gives the taste, and it makes all the. Yeah, that's one size rice. You can make it here. Then you can have always with your hands. You can have a little if you want. This time I take the butter with my hands. Better. Yeah. Yeah. And little bit press down and do this little canapé rice roll with the same ingredients, the same thing, and you can shape it as a nice little ball, and this is the key right there. Now we got two, and where are my assistants? You are my assistant. Why don't you try to do a couple of them? Yes, so I can see you see what around. So if you come on this side here, and you can do it. Here's the water to wet your hands, and we needed to do the binding. So the small one, so there is enough, so we don't need this. We put it so I didn't put on the big one, but just the buckets and the. I want you to feel this. Now, this water and flour. Again, here you have to be careful of the consistency of this, because if it's too thick, it's they say it's stuck there. So you have to put more water. And if it's too liquid, it's not good. It has to be the right consistency. I'll show you what is the right consistency for this. What flour is this? Just a normal flour? It's a normal flour, yeah? It's different. But they will always the ingredients to find the different ingredients. Okay. Now we might have the right. It'd be nice to do a whisk, but that's not it. We got the whisk. You're making my life easier, and but it's me that even with my eyes, it's not. Yeah, the tools are important and the help to get there. You see, if you don't ask, you don't get. That's why I say you see, it's nice and thick enough, but not too thick. So what we have here is 30 grams, and we put in this flour and water, so it's covered in flour and water, and then we put here, and we cover with breadcrumbs. Then we put on the frying pan. When you deep fry, don't throw things in there because the oil all over the place. All your guests will be going to the hospital instead of to enjoy your food. So just guide the food to the frying pan. You can do that, and you can put the flour. So we can then it's not. It's time consuming. You have to be patient, and you will get the result. You rush it. It's not going to happen. So we got another plate, and we're going to plate it up. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to plate it up these rice balls. You have to make sure because, especially in the outside. So it's a very difficult to just do one more. So if you cook a bit, let it go the heat through, and then you try again to get, because the coldness from inside gets the heat from the outside and heats up. But if you do all the time like that, it will burn before it goes to the okay. Look, the rice will see it's just what I'm not looking. I'll look at everything here. Yeah. Now we do a little bit of decoration again, because the look is important. We want to see what is happening. It's not decoration. This. Yeah, you have to make do with what you got. You prepare it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this outside here. Let it cool down, then I'm going to put it again. I'm going to put it again. So we need some red. I like to some red. Okay. I like to use all my ingredients. Yeah. See, I can handle it. It's my hand. Now the heat, if I touch now it's cold because they couldn't from inside. Now, by the time this hot outside, it will be ready and to go inside. Okay, so bit of red is the plate full of stuff here. But it can be too much, but you make your own decoration because it's important that you make your own decoration. Red is always nice, it's a catch you eye. This is for sure ready. And this is ready to that's what they recreated in the history. It's do something similar to this, and it's a great thing to eat as well. What we can have is yeah, simple stuff. It's too much into it, so we don't want. Oh, wait a minute, let's make top the food when it comes out, and this is the one for the patties. For the patties. It's very easy. It takes time, and we have the fish carpaccio, which now I'm going to show you the difference of the color, and the arancina stuff with peas, cheese, and okay. Look how sensitive the color is. You see? It's cooking. It's cooking with a lemon that we put in there. That's it. Yes. Seems to be some white. It's carpaccio. It's cooking. And it's ready to eat. And now it's in fashion to have sushi, but this is a similar thing, I would say, but treated in a different way. Yes, the sweet. Yes, yes, yeah, you can. It's simple. Okay, listen, there is two simple dishes here that I hope we will give you some idea that you can work it with and you can open up to what it could be if you got. And now, but you got a lot more questions to ask. You want to ask me a question or not? Yes.
As you know, celebrity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you expect from us? Like now we are starting. Now we are purchasing.
I expected that I can give you something today that you can work towards it and you find yourself and you find your way to get to be focused on the goal where you want to be. I expect you to work hard and to achieve the best for you. Because if you already decided to be in a college, to study and to be with professionals, you're ready to talk. You want to do something. You have an idea. Just develop this idea to be at the art. Because you can. You're wearing a white jacket. And this jacket is represents nicely for the industry of hospitality. And you can represent it well. You are in the right place. The institute is known worldwide. It's one of the best institutes of hospitality, and you're part of the family. They will help you. I will be with you at all the time. When they will reach me, I'm always available. Any questions that you want to ask in the future, ask to your teachers, and they will get to me or another 1,000 people like me. And they've got all different knowledge. They've done different direction. And so we experience all different things, the different difficulties, and we react all in our own way. But all that we managed to get a success, and that's what I'm expecting for you. Success. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So now they're cooking some of this arancina, so you can try. But I want you to try at least the consistency of the arancina. Okay, the first one that they can have, you can have this one. Okay, so you can have with your hands and all right. Okay, what I would like you to take advantage of me while I'm here with you. Please feel free to talk to me. We are friends. We are in the same Italian.
What they regular food they used to eat, what like they used to like seafood like or something.
Italian association with the food delivery. One thing is that Italian work like what they like what you like Italian. And because it's like Indian, food, then they experiment a lot of different food. But the basic, every culture is trying to stick to their own definitions. They grew up with those tastes and those the plants they are there. And then every now and then they try different cuisines, they try different things. Like me and my wife, once a week we are very because we are used to it, because we like it. But this, everybody like me or like others that they like to eat every day different food. But they normally is starting the like different food, the French like French food, the Indian like Indian food, Chinese like Chinese food. But it doesn't mean that they eat only that. And we can then notice the repeat. And if you are listening, I was cucina in the Calcutta. It's another in the higher agency of the Catantina. All the stuff in the kitchen, Italian kitchen, they were Indians. They were cooking so well. So you can go to bed already. What they started it, they knew what to do. And the techniques was led. Yesterday they was asking me questions. They said, how would you do that? Because I don't and then they use it. So you have to specialize in something. You have to be the best of what you do. Then in Italy we have a lot of Indian restaurants, but we know all the people there. We know many times, 7 days a week. Yeah, 1 day a week, 1 day a month, 1 day every 2 months. But being a lot of people go to this. Yeah. Yeah, that's street food.
What is the simple comfort food?
Pasta. Pasta. Italian people eat pasta every lunchtime. Every single Italian person eats pasta. All cooked in different way, all different shape of pasta, but we eat pasta very well. We should be all fat because but no, it's we have a lunchtime, we don't have dinner time. So then we go back to work. We also have like seasons. There is the daytime, then there's the break for the lunch, and then we go back to work. So you know the part of it's pasta is there is a more popular pasta, less popular pasta, but pasta. Yeah.
I heard that Italian people doesn't like pizza with the toppings. Is it true?
No, we like pizza with toppings. It's with what toppings? No, no, it's a no go. Chicken, yeah, you're right. We don't put chicken in a pizza because we don't put the chicken in pasta. We don't eat much chicken. It's just the chicken is something we don't eat that much. We have dishes with chicken. In my restaurant, I've got pizza with chicken, spicy chicken, and pasta with chicken. So in England, my best seller is when I put chicken and mushrooms. They like it. It's a comfort food for them. So it's, I like chicken on pizza. I like chicken on pasta. I don't like pineapple. Pineapple is too sweet. It ruins everything else. You have to have meat, you have to have vegetable, savory stuff there. But as soon as you put sweet stuff on it, unless you do a dish that is sweet and sour, yeah, otherwise the other step you call dessert pizza, which we do in Italy a pizza. There is a dessert pizza with the chocolate pizza. Yeah, it's in the last few years we done chocolate pizza, Nutella pizza, and it's all the place. It's just bread with chocolate. Yeah, it's, one day you need to go to Italy to really see the difference and to not just Italy, there's all different countries that if you get the chance to travel, which I was so lucky to get to travel, and thanks to this job that I could travel, because I couldn't afford to travel the way I've been traveling and pay to travel like that. No, they were paying me to travel. So. I mean, yeah. So I did the two things together, and I still do. I'm here, and I'm here to keep up a lot of stuff. And this job again, it gives me the opportunity to be with you and share things. Okay.
Living Italian cuisine, which cuisine do you prefer?
Football. Which cuisine I prefer?
Italian cuisine.
Other than Italian, other cuisines you prefer.
Which cuisine do you prefer?
If it's in Italy, I like a lot of cuisine. My favorite is Indian. Okay, I must admit, not because you're here. There is a lot of dishes that I like, but one that I really like is Jaffresi. Is a spicy chicken from the north of England, and I really like it. There is the Hyderabad's favorite rice, biryani that I love. There is tandoori, anything tandoori, fish tandoori. There is chicken. I love this the spices, the complex rice. I like naan bread, and I like anything to do with Indian food. I do love it.
Have you ever tried Goan food? Goan,
Goan cuisine. Yeah, Goan cuisine. I've been here before. I came here 4 years ago, and I enjoyed it. Tonight I'm going to have Italian food. We're going to try Italian restaurant. Yeah, I've been eating Indian food every day, so I don't mind to go to Italian. So to answer to you, Indian is my favorite cuisine. We just opened up one restaurant in London, which is in central London, one of the top restaurants of India. And I was there setting up the menu with them to tell you the menu. Being a judge, you can taste the difference and you can say no, you should change the things. So we done that. Another cuisine that I love is Chinese. I love Thai food. I love any kind of food. Yeah. And any kind of food that is interesting, I like. If it's boring, you won't see me McDonald's, that's for sure. I will never enter to McDonald's. I remember when I got two kids and they love McDonald's. I didn't want to know when my wife was taking them to McDonald's. And I don't want to know. You trying to kill them. Yeah. And very, very bad. But it's junk food. Junk food is not good for you. Wherever we eat, wherever we cook for our customers, because we put inside us. So it's so close, so intimate, so important that we eat well. Because if you eat well, not just to live longer, but you will take that. If you eat bad, you see people they get sick, they they're always in the hospital because yeah, eating well, ingredients is important. You have to balance it out. You don't overeat. Just when you're satisfied, leave it. Because a lot of time we think I say I don't want to leave this food because it's wasted. No, leave it there. You might not be able to reuse afterwards, but don't overeat more than what when you say about enough. Yeah. That's one thing that is important. Diet. I was for the 7 years the chef for the Italian cyclist team, and I have to take care of the cyclist diet all the time. And a lot of carb for them because they burn a lot of carb. They need the carb. The carb for them is like fuel into the engine. But if you do exercise, carb will kill you. So it depends what you do when you are, but try to balance up, try to get the information for the right diet, but not just for you, also to give representatives to you, yes, to your customers, to anybody, because you represent the persons that give them the food to them to live and to enjoy. And when you see people enjoying the food that you do, it's satisfying. I done this stuff yesterday, and everybody was smiling, good time. They say thank you. I just stand with the product. That's jack shit that they are because I put things in details. I like to sure that everything was right. But it's what I do, and I got the appreciation out of this. And I hope, and I'm sure that you will get a lot of appreciation, that you will enjoy the whole journey. Till that you are there. Yes, I'm sure you will. You got the chance, you are in the right place with the right people, and good luck to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Which working atmosphere do you prefer more, the hotels or the restaurants?
Good question.
Chef, you excuse line.
Yes. A cruise line is very stressful because you go to breakfast and you do two rounds. So it's not just the first lot, it's the first lot and the second lot because too many people and the restaurant they cater for half of the people that they are going. So two breakfast, two times, two service for breakfast, two service for lunch, two service for afternoon tea, two service for dinner, and two service for the midnight buffet. So you are dead at the end of the day. If you want to make money and you say, like I did, the reason I did was for the experience one, two because I was traveling, and three because I wanted to make a lump sum of money to make my first restaurant. And it was me and a friend of mine that we decided to go there for a year. All the money, we wasn't spending money, and at the end we had a lump sum to open up my first restaurant. So that's one very stressful. Hotels is good, is more professional. You got a better team, you do your bit, and you have to do next bit, the next bit until you become a sous chef, and you can move around. Otherwise, until you are chef de partie, you do those things, and that's it. So it can be feel long, and the pay is less than a restaurant. So there is this two downfall, but the hotels they give you more standard, more asset, and you learn more on variety of things because they change things, change shifts, they got events, they got a lot of things that you can. If you say I want to change the department, I want to change, then you will move around. Restaurants, sometimes you have to do everything. And this you make more money, and maybe you can do everything. It's not boring in a restaurant. It depends what you want. Is if you want to live a stressful life, go straight for the restaurant and do everything. If you want go step by step to hotels, or if you want to die of work, go to the cruise line. But no, there is steps that you have to do. Don't rush to go into it because you have to give time to understand, to experiment with things, to understand what's happening, the reaction of food, the reaction of people. Because in the beginning it's going to be difficult. People are going to push because they're busy, and you're in the middle and you want to learn. They're going to push you away. You say, "Oh, am I doing the right thing? What is it?" They make you feel. You might feel that you're undermined. No, it's you have to understand that this busy. You move all the way. If it pushes you, you understand that it's pushing you because it's under stress. And when there is a service, there is stress. And under stress, we have to react in the good manner. It's not that you're going to throw things away. It's not the Gordon Ramsay situation, no. Which is not like that. I know him very well. I've done a television program with him, and it's only when he's got the camera in front of him that he goes crazy. Yeah, it's doing television is you might get it, but don't aim to go in television if you haven't done the thing because you will look silly in front of the camera when you. So you have to do the step, and then if you feel that you can talk, you feel like you can catch the audience, then try on your own, try with your friends, and when you can see the result, then you say, how can I do that? And again, you have the people that they can help you try to get in the right direction. It's aiming where you want to be. There is so many different specialties, things that you can do in your field that any one of you can go in different direction or be in one place and do everything you know. It's good, guys. You are in the right job because it gives a lot of satisfaction. You make it. You have it's an art. Being cook and chef is an art. And, you have to learn the skills. You have to learn the techniques and asking questions. You get the knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you very much for welcoming. It's been great to be with you. I'm going to be until tomorrow. And if you see me or if you want to ask me questions, please. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the arancina.